Nod or shake reviews. Willie nod or Willie shake. Yeah!
Hi, Johnny here. Welcome to a special edition of Nod or Shake Reviews. Why is it so special? I got a microphone. But also we're doing a list of the top 10 favorite nods of 2022. So basically what you're going to see is movies that we've done a review to that are my top favorite 10. I usually hate top 10 lists, but I figured I'd do one for this year. I don't know why, but here we are, top 10. So some of the rules of this whole thing is I had to have done a review on it. So if you're asking like, oh, where's RRR? First off, I didn't see that movie, and second off, I didn't do a review. There are a few movies that I just didn't review on, but these are all strictly movies that we did a nod or shake to. So you can see all these movies in our playlist, the Nod or Shake review playlist, and I believe there's a bonus playlist of all the things that we've done over the course of the 4 or 3 years that we've been doing Nod or Shake reviews. So if you want, as a refresher, to check those out, go there, come back here, and let's go through this list together. Alrighty, let's get cooking. Number 10, Pearl. So this movie started out very slow, but one of the highlights for me in this movie that made it, is the reason why it's on this list, is Mia Goth. Mia Goth is phenomenal in this movie. Horror tends to get the shaft when it comes to the award ceremonies and all that, but I think she should at least... frankly, I think she should get the Oscar. Of all the movies that I've seen a lot, but I haven't also seen a lot. She just blew me away. She's the one person I thought that throughout this whole movie year thing really deserved an Oscar. I'm sure the minute I stop this video, I'm going to think of 3 other people, but she really sold that role, especially toward the end. She has this 8-minute monologue that is amazing. So number 10 goes to Pearl. Number 9, Jackass Forever. I can't remember the last time I laughed so hard in the movie theater. I don't know what it is, but for me at least, everybody has different experiences, but I just really can't remember the last time I was in a movie theater just laughing hysterically and having a good time until this movie came out. And it was just it was also very heartfelt. It was, because it's the movie after Ryan Dunn died. And they had a very nice tribute to him. And if you grew up with Jackass, I think you'll love this movie. So number 9, Jackass Forever. Number 8, Barbarian. This was a very scary movie. The reason you're probably asking yourself, well, how scary is it if it's on the 8 list? Again, I think it will have, and I actually haven't rewatched it yet, but I do think there's going to be some problems rewatching it. Now that I know what's going on, and the last half of the movie kind of fell apart for me. Having said that, again, I haven't had an experience in the theater where I was so like, oh, what's going to happen next, and all tensed up. So number 8, Barbarian. Number 7, Bullet Train. Just a fun action movie overall. Funny. Brad Pitt was great, and everything worked for me. And it wasn't, I think it's based on a book or a comic, so it's kind of on me, but it felt like an original story, which you don't really see a lot in the theater. Except, if you notice, a lot of these movies are pretty original. Maybe a sequel here and there, but overall, a lot of original movies on this list. Alrighty. On to the next one. Number 6, Bullet Train. Wait. No. Number 6, Smile. And I'm probably going to catch some heat for this, but this movie scared the shit out of me. I would even say more so Barbarian. I think the only issue that this movie have was... Again, if you're new to this channel, I avoid trailers as much as possible, but sometimes I'm curious and I'll watch the trailer after I've seen the movie. Yes, I would understand why someone wouldn't like this movie after seeing the trailer before. The trailer literally gives everything away. So if you have not heard of Smile, not seen a trailer, not seen a movie, check out Smile right now. Don't watch any trailers, and I think you'll be really freaked out. And the other problem I had with was too many jump scares. If they got rid of some of the jump scares, I think they could have had a really perfect horror movie on their hands. Number 5, The Menu. I love this movie. Everything just for me worked. The acting, Anya Taylor-Joy, I think that's her name. Ray Fiennes, Ralph. Everything was great. Again, completely new idea, and I was engaged throughout the whole movie. And it's such a, I don't know. I had no idea what I was going to see, and it's not explosions every 25 seconds. But to me, it really worked, and I loved it. Number 4, Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. I know Jim Bobbi hated this movie, but I love the shit out of this movie. I think it was such a unique idea, such a unique premise, and they did such a great job of all the possibilities of a multiverse. I originally had Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness at the 10 spot, but ultimately I changed my mind. And I think the big problem with that was I know they had a story to tell and they had other agendas that they need to fulfill. But one of the biggest problems with that movie was you didn't really feel like there was a multiverse of madness. This felt like madness in a multiverse. And I think that's what Doctor Strange should have been. And I know I really shouldn't compare the two, but just everything. There are a few notes I had. Again, you can watch all the reviews and see what I said at the time. And I think I still stuck with that. I haven't seen it since I saw it the first time. But overall, I like some of the serious moments. They had a lot of funny moments. They had a lot of awesome action sequences, a lot of sci-fi. Just a very good movie overall. Number 3, The Northman. I swear, I watched that movie once, but I remember the characters say two different things. One person says the Northman, one person says the Northman. I would have to see it again, but I'm pretty sure that's what happens. I really like this movie. I think it's Robert Eggers, I think. If I'm wrong, you can say in the comments that I'm wrong, because I know you people love doing that. This was great, man. Some of his movies I think could be a little bit like, oh, this is kind of like not what I wanted. I wanted something cooler. I think his movies are like slow burns. That's his whole shtick. I like The Witch. Wasn't really a fan of The Lighthouse, but this one, if I had to say, and maybe it's a controversial opinion, out of all the movies that he's done, this is my favorite. So yeah, The Northman, number 3. Number 2, Violent Night. Sometimes just a dumb, funny holiday comedy is just what you need. Maybe I'll be a lesser movie critic for this, but I know some people their lists are movies that you can't even say the title of. You're just like, I don't even know what this is. I watched this movie and I had such a great time. And yes, movies could make us think, make us debate, whatever. But overall, I think movies should make you have a good time. And this did this in spades. So number 2, Violent Night. The number 1 spot of the top 10 of 2022 of movies that we have nodded. This movie, a blockbuster, comes to mind. I can't remember a movie that felt like this. This movie felt like it felt good being back in the theater again. Don't get me wrong, I love going to the theater, but this was it felt like being a kid again, seeing the big movies when you're a kid, and just the wonder of movies, and that belongs to Top Gun Maverick. I genuinely love this movie. I think it's the movie I've seen the most this year, or one of the most. I think I wanted to see it again when it came out, because it came out in May, and then it came out in either November and December. Rightfully so, because it's such a fun action movie. It's a fun movie overall, and it's one of those movies that if you haven't seen it in theaters, I feel bad for you because I think you're missing a really quintessential part of the experience. And if it does come out in theaters again, I highly recommend you see Top Gun Maverick in theaters. So, that is our top 10 list of 2022. Jim Bobbi might have one. He might not. He probably won't. But I want to hear what your top 10 movies of 2022. I'm sure they're different. And let me know about my list and all that. We're going to have some highlights video coming out. And then we're going to be done for 2022. And then we're going to be heading into 2023. Alrighty, thanks for cringing. I'll see you next year. I can't stand when people do that. Alrighty, thanks for cringing. See you next time. Bye-bye.